All right, y'all, we are back with another video. I definitely had to bring y'all this one because the Supreme Court, they just betrayed America. So they saying that yesterday that the Supreme Court blocked President Trump from using the Aliens Enemies Act to deport illegal aliens. So now, I mean, this right here is crazy. And I already told y'all before, Justice Roberts just straight turned on. I don't even think Justin Roberts ever supported Trump. I think he was just a faker this entire time, ever since George Soros them start putting money in his pocket, allegedly, is what I've been hearing. So it just don't make any sense at all. They voted 7-2 and blocked President Trump when he's trying to clean up the streets. He's been doing a good job. Everybody been loving it. This is what we voted for. We voted for him to get illegal aliens out of here. Send them back to their country if they are here illegally. And you got Democrats and rogue judges is fighting for illegal aliens. This just don't make any sense at all. And now the Supreme Court just pretty much blocked President Trump from using the Aliens Enemies Act. This is insane, man. This is insane. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into this. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody showing so much support, and shout out to the ones who always watches their entire video and let me know that they did stay to the end, because it definitely helps get the video out there. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and dive straight into this. But man, this is just crazy, man. I mean, this is what we voted for. We voted for this, and you got a Supreme Court and judges that is able to stop the president of the United States for doing what he said he was going to do, and now you got these judges and stuff blocking it. This is insane. Something has to be done about this. So let's go ahead and dive straight into it.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to take a term out of the progressives playbook. As of last night, we are now experiencing a constitutional crisis. You see, late last night in a 7-2 decision, the United States Supreme Court just blocked President Trump's ability to invoke the Alien Enemies Act to deport illegal immigrants.
That's crazy.
That's right, folks. The President of the United States of America is now being told by a bunch of unelected judges that he is actually not allowed to use his executive authority to deport illegal immigrants. Now, two Supreme Court justices, Justice Clarence Thomas and Justice Samuel Alito, actually stood on the side of President Trump and the American people. The other 7 Supreme Court justices, including those who claim to be conservatives, sided with the radical leftists.
This don't make sense. How can y'all sit up here? Look at this. How can y'all sit up here and fight for illegal aliens? They don't supposed to be here. They are here illegally. And y'all sitting up there. I mean, I just don't get this at all, man. This is just crazy to me. I wonder if any of these judges, Supreme Court judges, I wonder would they let these illegal aliens stay on their street, or would they let them stay in their house? I just don't get it. That's the reason why I'm saying, man, George Soros, and this is what I've been hearing a lot, just like I mentioned in my video last week, that he's been paying a lot of these people, allegedly, to go against Donald Trump. And remember, Chuck Schumer said that they installed over 200-some judges, progressive judges, to rule against Donald Trump. He said this on live TV because the Democrat can't stop Donald Trump. So now they're using judges to stop Donald Trump. This is insane.
So you know what? Let's break all of this down. This wasn't just a bad ruling. No, this was judicial overreach on a level that we have never seen ever in American history. These judges just blocked a U.S. sitting president from enforcing federal law while our country is dealing with a full-blown invasion across the southern border. In fact, speaking of judicial overreach, take a look at this.
You cannot have a democracy where single individual district court judges can assume the full total powers of the commander-in-chief. Exactly. Even on the Supreme Court, it takes the agreement of 5 Supreme Court justices to change a federal policy. 5. A single district court judge out of 700 cannot set policy for the entire nation, let alone on national security and public safety issues. The president has been clear that he has tremendous respect for Justice Roberts and believes it's essential the Supreme Court crack down and stop this assault on our democracy from these radical rogue judges that are usurping the powers of the presidency and laying waste to our entire constitutional system.
And so, folks, as you all know, this is exactly what is going on in the country now.
Exactly.
Judicial tyranny. Here's the reality. The U.S. Supreme Court sat back and did nothing while 20 million illegal immigrants poured into this country during the Biden administration. But the moment that President Trump gets into office and tries to clean up the mess, that's when the Supreme Court decides to speak up. And, you know, let's be very clear about something here. The Alien Enemies Act has been on the books since 1798. It gives the president the right to remove foreign nationals that are deemed a threat to the country. And considering that we have multiple violent cartel terrorist organizations operating within our country at this very moment, personally, I would say that this situation qualifies. But the United States Supreme Court apparently disagrees. Their ruling last night effectively shields known criminals, illegal immigrants, and terrorist gang members.
It just goes to show you that these judges, these corrupt judges, is all in on going against Donald Trump. I can guarantee you that these Supreme Court judge that's been ruling against President Trump is getting paid to do so. And like I mentioned before, the Democrats were mad when Chuck Schumer went on TV and pretty much exposed their whole game plan of them installing judges and installing the one that's going to rule against Donald Trump. And you got judges that's taking up for these illegal aliens over the American people. How do these judges really care about the American people's safety if they fighting? So now you got the Democrats and corrupt judges fighting for illegal aliens. This is insane. You got corrupt judges and Democrats fighting for illegal aliens. Think about it. It ain't like they was here legally and then President Trump kicked them out. They here illegally. They don't supposed to be here. Then you got another Democrat who just, Van Hollen, just flew to El Salvador to have margaritas with an illegal alien. A wife beater who beat his wife twice. This is who the Democrats are siding with. How in the world are they going to win in 2028? This is all J.D. Vance, whoever's going to run on the Republican side, that's all they got to bring up. Look what the Republican was fighting for. They was fighting for illegal aliens over the American people. That's all he got to say.
It puts the rights of illegal alien terrorists above the safety of you and your family. It's an outright betrayal of the U.S. Constitution and every American citizen. And you know what? Speaking of American citizens, take a look at this.
Deport all undocumented immigrants. Voters favoring the government trying to deport all 11 million of them. Back in 2016, just 38% of voters wanted the government to try to deport all 11 million undocumented immigrants. Compared to where we are in 2025, 56%, the majority. The American people have come a long way on this issue, much closer to Donald Trump, and I think that's a big part of the reason why Americans are increasingly saying the country is on the right track when it comes to immigration policy, and why Donald Trump's net approval rating on that issue is in the positive.
Ladies and gentlemen, even CNN right now is forced to acknowledge that the majority of Americans want these illegal immigrants out of our country.
Exactly.
And as you all just saw, back in 2016, only 38% of Americans wanted to deport every illegal immigrant inside of the country. Well, today, well over half of Americans, 56% in fact, have said that enough is enough. It is time to deport every single one of these illegal immigrants. It is time to restore law and order back to America. The data is clear.
And that's what I'm saying. You shouldn't be able to have judges to overrule the president of the United States. It seems like now you can install any judge in there and he could just make a ruling against the president. That right there shouldn't happen. You shouldn't be able to just go get a judge off the street, install him, and say, okay, rule against Donald Trump. No judge should be able to rule against the president. I mean, this is insane.
The mandate has been given. The American people have spoken. This is why we voted for President Trump.
Yep.
But apparently, the United States Supreme Court doesn't really care about that, because this ruling is a direct slap in the face to the 74 million Americans who put President Trump in office with the mission of deporting these illegal immigrants and restoring law and order. But now, ladies and gentlemen, you want to know why all of this is really happening? It's because the Democrats realized that they can't beat Trump or the Republicans in a free and fair election.
They can't.
So instead, they're trying to sabotage him through the courts. In fact,
yeah, that's what they're going to do. They're going to try to sabotage him through the courts. So when it get to like election time again, oh, Donald Trump promised y'all this, and he didn't deliver. Donald Trump said he was going to get all the illegal aliens out, and he didn't do it. Donald Trump said he was going to do this, and he didn't do it. So that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to sabotage everything he said he was going to do so they can try to use that to think that's going to win them election in 2028, which is not. So they can't beat him fair and square. So now they got to use corrupt judges to try to rule against him. Man, this is crazy.
Chuck Schumer recently said that over 235 judges were appointed by Joe Biden and his allies specifically for the purpose of stopping Trump's America First agenda.
He sure did.
And if you don't believe me, take a look at this.
There are those who believe that we are in real time living through an assault on the constitutional order. Do you believe that we are in a constitutional crisis right now?
Yes, our democracy is at risk because Donald Trump shows that he wishes to violate the laws in many, many different ways. The good news here is we did put 235 judges, progressive judges, judges not under the control of Trump last year on the bench, and they are ruling against Trump.
Now, you see what he just said? They put over 235 judges in place to rule against Donald Trump. So this is what Chuck Schumer and the Democrats are doing because they can't stop Trump. So now they are paying judges, allegedly led by George Soros that I've been hearing. And this is what he's doing. So he pretty much just admitted that they installed judges just to rule against Donald Trump, not just normal judges who gonna see it out on both sides. No, they installed judges that's in favor of them just to rule against President Trump.
35 judges, progressive judges, judges not under the control of Trump last year on the bench, and they are ruling against Trump time after time after time.
Folks, he's literally bragging about it. He's out here bragging about subverting democracy and weaponizing the justice system. Constitutional crisis, he says. Yeah, we do have a constitutional crisis, and it's been caused by the Democrats and now the U.S. Supreme Court.
Yep.
Not a single one of these radical progressives on the far left actually care about the rule of law or the U.S. Constitution. No, they care about power and pushing their radical progressive agenda. And if that means protecting illegal immigrants, MS-13 terrorists, and cartel human traffickers in order to stop President Trump from protecting America, then that's what they're going to do.
Yep.
I mean, folks, look around. For the last week and a half, the progressive left has been actively trying to bring a certified MS-13 cartel terrorist back into the country. These people are insane. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, we do have some good news today. It would seem as if the Supreme Court is willing to look over this entire case again in the future after the federal appellate courts have weighed in on it. So maybe all of this will just end up being a temporary hurdle. But folks, as you all know, America First is inevitable. One way or another, we are going to make this country great again.
Exactly.
Now, everyone, before...
salute to Matt Morse TV. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel. Let him know in the comment section that DAREALADOGG sent you. He's a great content creator, so please go over there, go show Matt Morse some love and stuff like that. Hit the like button over there, subscribe to him, and leave positive comments. And like I said, let them know that DAREALADOGG sent you. But thank you all for watching. Like I said, man, they just betrayed America. That Supreme Court, this is ridiculous. Hopefully, they go up to the next court, man, and they change this, because this is insane. How in the world, now that you got judges ruling against the president, it ain't like he's doing something bad. He's getting illegal aliens out of here, and you're trying to stop him from using the Alien Act. Like this, like, come on, man. But like I said, thank you all for watching. Let me know what y'all think about this in the comment section, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.